Okay, so the supplies for this tutorial that you are going to need is your vinyl, which is, for me, is the white, some heat and bond, the Ultra Hold, which is in the red packaging, a weeding tool, a ruler, a blade. I'm going to be using the fabric blade for the fabric, a shirt, fabric, and some scissors. And obviously you're also going to need a heat press or iron. Okay, so you're going to want to go into the studio and get whatever you want to cut. I'm going to be cutting my daughter's name, with the K is what is going to have fabric in it. So here's the K, and I'm going to click the K, and I'm going to go to the offset, and I'm going to click offset. And then I'm going to go, and you can adjust that distance if you want to. I like it where it is, so I'm going to leave it. And then you're going to click the inner one. You have to click the original one. Don't click the offset, the one you just offset. Then you click internal offset, and then you can adjust it. And I like to adjust it so the innermost line and the middle line aren't so close together, because if they're so close together, then your vinyl isn't going to overlap your fabric by much at all, and so there's, you know, more of a possibility of your fabric slipping out from underneath the vinyl and off of your shirt. So then what you're going to do is you're going to go to your outermost line, and you're going to turn it black, and then you're going to go to your innermost line, and you're going to turn that black too. And the rest of her name is in black too, because the black lines are the vinyl lines. That's the vinyl cut. So to see how this cuts, you go to cut, and then you go to advanced, which is up here. You gotta click advanced, and then cut by line color. So then to cut just the fabric, you click just the red. You click just on cut by red line, the red line color, which it might be different for you. It just depends on what color you choose. And then to cut just the vinyl, you unclick that, and then you click the black, and that's the vinyl. So as you can tell on the K, it is like one solid piece. That's your border. So you can see in there that there's that red line that's your fabric. So when you cut this, you're gonna have to weed out the middle K, this internal part. You're gonna have to weed that out of vinyl. You can, like, you know, try to weed it out really carefully so you can keep it intact and try to use it on something else. And remember, before you cut this, to mirror it. So have this mirrored. I'm gonna put it on my mat where I want it, and I'm gonna cut this. Okay, so now that you have your heat transfer vinyl cut out part, you are going to want to take your fabric, and you're going to want to cut a piece that's big enough to fit in whatever you're doing. So I'm just going to lay this on here to get an idea. You can cut it to be exactly the size, or you can cut a little bigger. It doesn't really, it's just up to you. So you're gonna cut that, throw your fabric aside, and then you're gonna take your heat and bond, and you're gonna do oops. You're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna take the piece of fabric that you cut, that's the size you need, and you're gonna put the rough, or not the paper side, the like sticky-ish side, you're gonna put that on the wrong side of the fabric. And you're gonna cut it as best you can. I like to make it so there's like almost absolutely no edges, like none coming off. So I like to cut the heat and bond a little bit smaller than the fabric piece, because if you have a heat press, when you press this, the glue will, like if you have like that, like there's a little, you know, part, when you have the heat press, if you press it down, this glue will melt too, and it'll get all sticky and all over your heat press. So then you're going to take these two, the fabric and the heat bond, and you're going to take it to your heat press and you're going to stick them together. You only have to do it for, I do it at 320 for only about 3 seconds. So let's go do that. Okay. So I take the fabric and I lay the fabric the right side down. And since there's like a crease in my fabric, I'm going to press it for just a minute by itself. And then I'm going to take this, the heat and bond, and you're going to put it, the clear, sticky-ish side down onto your fabric. I'm going to put the sheet on there since it's kind of starting to curl from the heat. And I don't want it to fold over on itself. And that's literally all it takes. And then there's your heat and bond stuck to your fabric. You want to leave the paper backing on while you cut. So let's go cut this. Okay, so now we're going to cut the fabric part of this. So I'm going to make sure that this is grouped. I don't think it is. Okay, so I'm going to move this to where I want it on the page, and then I'm going to go to cut, advanced, and then I'm going to change it from the black to the red. Make sure you unclick the black. And here's a question that I see happening a lot on the pages. Is that, do I mirror when I'm cutting the fabric? Okay? So since my design, since I'm already mirrored this, I'm gonna leave it mirrored to cut this, okay? So if you are cutting it mirrored like this, you need to put your fabric the exact same way that you would do vinyl, which is the right side down. So this pattern side of my fabric needs to go face down on the mat if I'm cutting it mirrored. If you're not mirroring it, you need to cut it pattern side up, or it won't fit in your vinyl cutout. It will be the wrong way. So I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna put the fabric on my mat to cut it. And something I always do when cutting fabric is I put some tape around the top and the bottom edges to make it extra secure so it doesn't move around, because I've had that happen a couple of times, that it shifts and moves and messes up. So I'm going to cut this. Okay, so I'm going to take out my regular blade, which I don't use a regular blade, I use the CB09. And then I'm going to put in the fabric blade. You can use a regular blade if you want to. I have before plenty of times. It just dulls down the blade a lot quicker when you're cutting fabric. And as you guys can see, for the most part, it cut it so well that you can just pull it out. Okay, so now we have all of our 3 pieces to the puzzle. We have our fabric cut out, we have our heat transfer vinyl, and we have our shirt. So I'm gonna take the shirt and put it on the press. And I'm gonna press it for about 5 seconds. And then what we're gonna do first you're gonna do your fabric part. But how I like to do it is I like to take my heat transfer vinyl part and just lay it down to just kind of get a little bit of an idea of where I want this to go. I'm not gonna press this right now. Don't press the vinyl first. So then I'm gonna take the fabric, and I'm just gonna kind of lay it, slip that one out. First of all, it would help if you took your backing off. Remember to do that. Remember to take the backing off of that, of the fabric. So I'm just gonna lay this there. And I'm not gonna press this right now because I like to do them separate. You can do it like that. You can lay your fabric on there and then put your vinyl on top and press it in all one go. But you know, since your fabric isn't adhered yet, there's more of a chance that it might like slip around a little bit. So I'm just gonna adjust it as needed. And then I'm just gonna press the fabric for about 3 seconds. And since it's fabric, you don't necessarily have to put the Teflon sheet over top of it, since it's just fabric. So then I'm gonna take the vinyl, and I'm gonna move you guys over here so you can see this a little bit better. Hopefully the heat press doesn't burn my camera. So then I'm gonna take the vinyl, and I'm gonna line it up so every edge of the fabric is covered in vinyl. And then I'm gonna take the Teflon sheet, lay it, and I'm gonna press this for 15 seconds. Take it up, take the Teflon sheet, peel it off. And then I like to take it up and look at it because you want to be able to see the shirt, the like fibers of the shirt through it, which you cannot with this. So since there's like a collar on this shirt, you know, that's kind of getting in the way, I'm gonna take a washcloth, just a washcloth, and I'm gonna put it on here. I'm gonna put it on the press, and then I'm gonna press this in sections so it gets it really nice and adhered. Make sure to put your Teflon sheet over this because it's just straight vinyl now. So if you put it down, your vinyl will get ruined. And if you notice, I did not lock my press there. You can lock your press. You can do it, you know, you can do it however you like. I didn't because my pressure is, with the washcloth in there right now, my pressure is too high, so it won't lock, which is fine. You can adjust it if you want, but I won't take the time. So I'm gonna move this, kind of just work with your shirt, see how it goes in there. These ruffles, I like to hang off of the edge to get them out of the way. And this, you just kind of do it you know, in little increments and then check your shirt to see if you can see the fibers of the shirt through it, which now you can everywhere. I don't know if this will focus. So you can see the fibers of the shirt through the vinyl. And if you see right there, the little line in there, indented in this border, that's your fabric line. That's the edge of your fabric. You can see through there. So all along you can see how the vinyl has covered the fabric. And in certain areas, like over here, it did kind of get a little thin. I could have moved the vinyl border a little bit more to the right, so it would have covered this edge a little bit better, but it's okay. So that's your shirt, and that is how you do this. So I hope this has helped some people. If you have any questions, let me know and I will try to answer them.